Spotify Duo matched her with a stranger at our address. It turned out my marriage had excellent taste in music. It just outsourced the listening. The email arrived on a Thursday with the smug friendliness of a brand that has decided it's your roommate. "Welcome to Premium Duo," it announced. "Confirm your home address to start listening together." Beneath the banner, the plan owner, Myra. The other member, Roman. The address listed was ours. Spotify Duo doesn't let you lie casually. The plan requires you to live together. You press a button and it peeks at your location like a suspicious landlord. My phone blinked, waiting for me to confirm I lived in the place I pay for, with the person I love, and a man I'd only met in the kinds of sentences that ruin furniture. I didn't click anything. I let the page sit there on my screen, a cheerful affidavit. Below the welcome confetti were two avatars. Myra's little cartoon face, dark hair, red lipstick. Roman's circle had no photo, just a gray silhouette that felt like a dare. "Listening together is better," the subject line chirped. I made coffee and tried not to imagine how two people can listen together at the same time with only one bed. At lunch, I opened the app. A new playlist had appeared under Made for Two, Duo Mix Light. The cover showed two overlapping circles in colors that would never exist in the sky. I tapped it like you press a bruise. The first song started soft and unreasonably honest, Nina Simone vowing she wasn't going to be fooled. Then a white-hot pop track I've only heard in rooms where the light is for photographs, not people. Then something raw with a guitar that sounded like it had survived a basement. I scrolled. The playlist badge said light. There was also Duo Mix Chill and Duo Mix Upbeat, as if moods could be rendered like cocktails. A row below, recommendations formed a column of apologies. "Because you both listened to," it said, "inventing a Venn diagram for strangers." I closed the app and opened our shared calendar. Myra's evening was a neutral block named Warehouse Tasting, which I knew meant Dash's back room filled with fragile bottles and a dangerous charm. I texted, "Need anything for tonight?" She replied with a peach emoji. It should have been harmless. It landed like a confession. The city spent the afternoon being loud on purpose. I ran a warehouse argument through the grinder and came out the other side with a signed delivery and a headache shaped like the word standards. At 6, I took the long way home, past the pet shop where a parrot swears softly in Hungarian, and the bakery that believes butter is a spiritual practice. I didn't want to bring hunger into the house and have it mean the wrong thing. She was in the kitchen when I walked in, barefoot, music low, the kind of song that thinks it can stand between people and the things they're about to say. She kissed me with her kindness mouth, the one that maintains the treaty. I took in the room the way logistics has taught me to scan a doc, count, assess, predict. Two wineglasses sweating like embarrassed witnesses. A lemon cut into ceremonial eighths. On the counter, her phone lit up with a notification. Duo Mix updated. I held up my phone. "So," I said, "we live with Roman." Myra's eyes did a small necessary thing, closed, opened, found me again. "Alex," she said. It wasn't an apology. It was my name like a hand on a railing. "Premium Duo," I said, and put my finger on the part of the screen that believes in cohabitation as a feature. "Address confirmed." She exhaled into her hands before she answered. "He set it up," she said. "He sent me the invite and I didn't fight it." "Because," I kept my voice level, "the way you carry a pot overflowing so you don't baptize the floor." "Because my playlist started to feel like a museum," she said. "I forgot how to listen to things that don't sound like competence." He sent songs that felt like a window. I opened it. I leaned against the counter because my knees wanted to make art out of this moment. I pressed the app like a bruise again. "It recommends us a song called Losing," I said. Subtle. Myra gave a ridiculous, wonderful half laugh. Of course it does, she said. The algorithm ships us. I don't want the algorithm to ship us, I said. I want you shipped here. She set down the knife. Her fingers were lemon sticky, which felt like an insult and an invitation. Do you want me, she asked softly, or do you want to win? I looked at her mouth and decided to be stupid in the right direction. Now, I said, I want you now. Something unclenched in her shoulders. She stepped toward me, hand on my jaw. We kissed the way people kiss when the room has already decided what story it is and you want to ruin the ending. It wasn't acrobatic. It was specific. Her lips tasted like citrus and a decision. My hand found her waist and remembered the map without asking for directions. We stopped before we broke dinner. She leaned her forehead against mine. 21 days, I said, because 30 is a theater and 7 is an excuse. 3 weeks of listening together for real. No duel with ghosts. We use our own noise to drown out whatever this is trying to sell us. She nodded. And what do you put on the turntable, she asked, other than rules and your best intentions? Volume, I said. I stop presenting my desire like a polite playlist and start playing the messy tracks. I'll touch you before the pasta is al dente. I'll ask with my hands, not just with promises. She smiled like a small weather change. Do you want me now? She said, because we're practicing. Yes, I said, and she went up on her toes and brought my lower lip into her mouth in that way that makes language wait its turn. We ate in the living room because the table had lately become a courtroom. I cued a record, the old kind, black and honest. We let a trumpet try to keep up with us. After, she washed 2 plates while I dried and the ordinary felt obscene in the good way. Her phone blinked on the counter. Duo Mix upbeat updated. She turned its screen down. I'll remove him from the plan, she said. You'll text him, I said, and you'll tell him you're taking back your ears. She rolled the dish towel into a rope and snapped it gently at my thigh. You get poetry when you're brave, she said. We didn't fight at bedtime. We did not use the bed as a stage. We did the graceful, unfashionable thing. We lay close and breathed until both our bodies agreed to be animals. In the dark, she said, he sent me a song once with one line in it. I want to be a better mistake. I put my hand on her ribs and felt her answer the question she hadn't asked. I don't want a better mistake, she said. I want to be loud where I live. Day 3, the Duo tab still lingered in the app like a drunk acquaintance. Because you both liked last night's jazz, it said. We ignored it and made our own mix on the kitchen speaker. Her old Ukrainian rock, my shameless love for silly pop, an obscene French track we both pretended to understand. We kissed at the sink and knocked over a cup and let it spill. The dog upstairs threw in a percussion line. The algorithm is not built for that kind of arrangement. On day 5, I failed. The warehouse cinched me into a late shift and a polite panic. I came home with a brain full of forklifts and a mouth too tired to be useful. She was on the couch in a robe that made the room flammable. I kissed her like a person who didn't want to be put on hold. She said louder, our new rule for say the embarrassing version, and I said, I'm afraid you only want me when I don't need you. She said, I'm afraid I only want you when you remember you're alive. We went to bed and didn't pretend sleep was redemption. It was just sleep, and even that felt like a kind of honesty I could live with. On day 7, I saw Roman on the street outside Dash's bar being exquisite with a cigarette. He raised 2 fingers in a neutral salute, the international sign for I already know you don't want to talk to me. She left Duo, he said, because this is a small city and software is a gossip. She did, I said. We're practicing monophony. He smiled with half his face in a way I absolutely refused to respect. Then sing, he said. He flicked the cigarette into a puddle like a punctuation mark and went back to whatever he's curating now. On day 9, the app tried to woo us back. Duo offers great value for couples, it said, which I suggest they embroider on the flag for the Republic of Missed Points. I clicked not for us. It asked why. I typed, we already live together. Day 10, we went walking along the river with cheap coffees that tasted like discipline. Myra talked about the first boy who ever made her a mixtape on a CD labeled in black marker with a little heart. I told her about the first time I learned love could be the softest thing and the scariest thing in the same verse. We shared a donut like teenagers, badly, powdered sugar on our coats. We picked songs out loud and sang the parts we knew and hummed the rest and didn't care who heard. On day 12, the algorithm found another angle. Your friends are listening too, it teased, like a party we weren't invited to. We laughed at it with the relief of people who are finally tired of the velvet rope. That night we took a bath together in a tub barely built for one, and I read one page of a trashy novel out loud in a serious voice, and she laughed so hard the water sloshed onto the mat and the mat forgave us. YouTube would have approved. The room did too. On day 15, Dasha called to ask if we'd host a small after-after. We said no with enough love that she didn't press. You two are boring, she said fondly. Boring is the new scandal, I said. Myra pulled me onto her lap like a bad idea and kissed my neck until the phone made a noise that was definitely not weather. Dasha hung up with a laugh that blessed our house. On day 18, the app conceded. It stopped suggesting him to me. It started surfacing our old songs together, the ones from road trips and stupid motels and that one grocery store dance we pretend never happened because the carrots were watching. I made a playlist titled Us Now, and the cover photo auto-filled with a picture of her hand holding a peach. I didn't change it. On day 21, no confetti fell. We were just home with a sink disrespecting our effort and a lamp I keep meaning to fix and a bed that looked like it had been used by people and not models. We brushed our teeth like a synchronized swim team. We got into bed without ceremony. And when she said, "Do you still want me now?" I said, "Always," risking the word on purpose, and she pulled me in by the hip like we were both right. Later, we lay there and listened to the city make its unhelpful music. I asked if she'd texted him. She said yes. I told him I wanted to listen to the same song every day for a while, she said. He said that's not how music works. I said that's exactly how it works. She put her mouth on mine like an annotation. A week after that, a package arrived with no return address. Inside, an old cassette tape, home recorded, label peeled off, nothing written on it. Beneath it, a note in careful pen, "For making your own B-side," no signature. I held it to the light. It was empty. It was perfect. We don't own a tape deck. We didn't need to. We pinned it to the cork board in the hallway with the stupid souvenir postcards that remind us to be unserious as maintenance. Sometimes the app still tries me. Because Myra listened too, it says, and offers a song that could break a house if you let it. I don't click. I walk into the kitchen and put my mouth on her shoulder and say now, and she decides whether now is now or now is 10 minutes, and either way I can live. If you need moral language, don't let software define your address. Don't give your loneliness a login. If you need a worse, better sentence, stop auditioning for rooms. Build the band at home. Off-key is fine, volume matters. I kept the original Duo email as a souvenir. When I feel sane and dangerous in the right proportions, I open it and admire the part where it says, "Confirm your address." I think about the way we did. I think about how the softest part of our house is not the bed or the cushions, but the seconds between "Do you want me now?" and "Yes." I think about how the best playlist I've ever made is a rule we practiced until it stopped being a rule. Hands first, then explanations. Last night over dishes, I asked her to put on something filthy and French, and she put on a song about apples and sin. and we danced in that stupid square of light on the floor that turns us into silhouettes. And I held her in a way that made the room a witness, and she laughed into my mouth, and the app, somewhere in the background, tried to keep up and failed. It offered us because you listened too, and we did, but not the version it meant. The one where we sing badly and mean it. The one where the chorus is the easiest part. The one where we're home.